Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Medic, and today we're going to be talking about Medic within MVM. Alright, so first I'm going to go over weapons, what you should be using within the game mode. A lot of people will tell you that you have to use this loadout. This is it. That's the only one you can use. This can switch out sometimes to like the overdose or something. But, oops. But you can use any of the miniguns and most of the other weapons. Let's start with primaries. I personally use the Crusader's crossbow because I like the Crusader's crossbow. It allows you to heal at range, does burst healing, etc. You really don't use it that much within this game mode. You really don't use any of these that much. I have saved the round a few times, not a ton, but a few times, by killing whatever scout or class had gotten through in like Rottenburg or well, I guess Manhattan too. But they'd gotten through and they're about to deploy the bomb and shoot them with this. It's worked out a few times. It saved the round. Overdose. Why not? I mean, it makes you go faster if you have a full Uber. So it makes it a good option. I mean, you're really not going to be using any of these much. If you watched a Ray Sevens video on this, he says use a Blutsauger. I personally don't like the Blutsauger because it makes you want to try to spam the bots anymore. And then the syringe gun. It's the syringe gun. It's literally the worst medic primary. Now the most important part, mediguns. Personally, I generally use the Kritzkrieg, though I usually start the round out with the quick fix. I'm just going to go through them in order. This one is, the stock is actually, I see it used a lot. It's, well, not a lot, I don't see it used a lot, it's always the Kritzkrieg, but, most of the high tour medics use this one. Basically, their strategy is because of damage fall off, the farther away you are from a target, the less damage you do to the target. They kind of want to just get everyone close in. It's kind of like increasing the damage with the Kritzkrieg. And they just bring them in and they just flash everybody, which is, it works really well. And if you ever need crits, they just use crits canteens. This is quick fix. This is my first round weapon, first and usually second round weapon. I usually get people are like, oh, you don't use this, it's dumb, and it's like, we don't need crits the first two rounds, and like we really don't need crits any rounds after that. I mean, we can live without them, but crits are very helpful. But this is nice because its heal rate and uber charge rates are increased, so you get uber faster and your uber heals everyone faster. It's good. It's a good starting one, I think. I've heard this one is good. I've only used it one time, and I didn't use it to great effect. It's said to be good because damage comes in waves. So like you'll have all scouts, or all heavies, or all soldiers, or all pyros. So you just switch to that that resistance, and apparently it's supposed to help. I've never really been able to do it well, so I don't know. And then the Kritzkrieg, everyone's top pick for this game mode. It's pretty straightforward. It gets uber faster and it does more damage when you pop. You'll notice that my statistics are kind of really screwed up there. I have 385 ubers and 118 assists. That's because of MVM. Yeah. All right, and then this one. There's not really a ton of options in the melee category. Really, you just want to use the Ubersaw. I mean, you're not going to be battle medicing. This isn't really all that helpful. I mean, this would be my second choice. And then everyone can pretty much see their health anyway, so you don't need that. And then the Vitasaw is not good. Yeah. So stick with the Ubersaw for this one. Next we'll be going into upgrades. Yes. Alright, let's talk about upgrades now. I'm gonna go through them real quick, tell you what each one does roughly, and then I'll talk about how I like to use them. Okay, so first we have Uber Charge Rate. Pretty simple. It boosts your charge speed by 25% each upgrade. Projectile Shield is you put 1 point into it and it's like a 45-degree shield. Then you put another point, it's like I don't know, maybe 180-degree shield. And it basically stops all projectiles from coming in. It does not stop fire, so don't try to use it against a pyro. Enemies cannot walk through it except for sometimes giants. It's kind of weird in that regard. Small enemies normally can't walk through it unless you push the shield through them, and they take damage as they go through it, so it's good to use when fighting a lot of enemies. Uber duration increases your Uber by 2 seconds. An Uber is normally 8 seconds, so this will change it to 14 seconds. This is Overheal Expert. 25% more overheal, 50% longer duration per point. It's a really good one, especially when you get all the way to the top, because they really don't lose their overheal. Healing Mastery heals them faster, revives them faster, and you get better self-heal per point. And then Canteen Specialist is one. I normally don't use this one, but I've seen a lot of really good medics use it. Basically, you put your 1 point will allow you to share your canteen with whoever you're pocketing, and then the price of canteens, which are over here, which crit boosted, ubercharge, spawn, and refill clips and ammo, is increased by 1 second each upgrade point, which is nice. You could, like, if you have an Uber canteen, it normally lasts for 5 seconds. You can upgrade it. You can upgrade it to last 8 seconds, which is a normal Uber length. Okay, so basically how I like to do it, there's one thing you always need to upgrade, and that is projectile shield. Max upgrade first round, because this is ridiculously useful. Usually first round. After that, I just do healing mastery and overheal. You're not going to need the Uber charge really first round, and Canteen Specialist is too expensive to do first round, and I never use it anyway. And then after that, I generally put it into rate first, because then you get more Ubers as opposed to longer Ubers. You could people will say you have to put it in duration first, because you're supposed to use your Uber saw to get more, but that's not really always viable. It's inconsistent, and it really depends on how good your team is. Because like when we're fighting a giant, I'll like Sir Nukes a lot, the demo on Rottenberg. I'll just like spam him until I get Uber again, then crits one of my teammates, then just spam him until I get Uber again, then crits. It's a good way to take him out, but normally I don't run into combat to try and get the Uber saw. Then your upgrades here. I used to do these mix them between my medigun and my character. I'd say that's a good way to do it if you're new at the game. It'll increase your survivability. Crit resistance usually goes first, but you can put it in others. There's crits is more comprehensive. It covers every class that has crits. I mean, if you're looking at a wave like right here, see there's 48 soldiers and 40 scouts coming in. None of them are crit boosted, so you really don't want to invest in that this round. Jump height I like, movement speed I like. Generally, if I run out of upgrades here, I'll put them in here, movement speed and jump height. But I really don't put it in regen health because it's way too expensive. Like up here, it does it heals 10 per second, which is really nice, but it's really, you have to put in $1,000 to get that, so I really don't. I never upgrade anything on here. You're not really going to be doing a lot of damage with it, so you don't need attack speed. You just run in, get the hit, and run out. I don't normally buy these, but you'll generally want to buy Uber charged because it'll keep you alive, and you have the crit streak, so you don't need crit boosted. That was a quick overview of the upgrades. Gosh, I can't think. Alright, so I joined a random server. I'm the only one on it, to talk about how to play Medic in MVM. As much as I'd like to say it's difficult and it's a super advanced class to play and you really need a lot of skill to play it, you don't. It's really not hard. You point your medigun at your enemies. Yeah, if you point your and you point your medigun at your teammates, and then you click, and then they stay alive. Your projectile shields, which as you can see I have upgraded. This is a really easy level, so there's not a lot of starting cash. But basically, to heal your teammates, you want to stay behind them or behind cover, especially behind cover unless you have projectile shield when you run out, and just block everything. Remember to protect your sentry guns, if possible. I mean, like in Manhattan, they're up on that ledge. This shield isn't tall enough to get to them, so you really don't want to try too hard like that. But Use your shields to block things. You can use it to do damage, just run into enemies. Other than that, there's not a lot to say. Like, if you see an enemy, if you see like a scout getting through, just hit the scout to get your Uber. Obviously, this is a bone saw, but I would normally have an Uber saw. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty easy to play medic. I guess that's all for now. I should probably figure out an outro at some point, or I could just do what the War Owl does and be like, and I still have no closer.